Susan Cox Powell. Susan Powell was a young mother from West Valley City, Utah, who vanished without a trace in December 2009. Her case shocked the nation, not just because of her disappearance, but the chilling twists that followed. Behind closed doors, her seemingly normal family life hid dark secrets. This is the story of Susan Cox Powell and the disturbing mystery that still haunts to this day. Josh Powell was Susan's husband. To the outside world, they looked like a regular family, with their two young sons, Charlie and Braden, who were 3 and 5 at the time. Neighbors would often see them playing outside or heading to church together, but those close to the family began to notice tension. Josh was controlling, distant, and often kept Susan isolated. Despite that, she stayed for the sake of the boys, Charlie and Braden, who were everything to her. They were bright, sweet, and always smiling, but even they began to say things that made others uneasy. Things no one expected to hear from kids so young, and as time went on, the cracks in the family picture became harder to ignore. And as the cracks deepened, Susan did something chilling. She recorded a video of her home, speaking calmly as she moved from room to room. She said it was just in case something happens to her. She showed her belongings, documents, and the kids' things. It felt less like a home tour and more like a goodbye, like she knew time was running out. Without further ado, I will now play the clip.
This is me, July 29th, 2008. It is 12:33 Mountain Time. Covering all my bases, making sure that if something happens to me or my family or all of us, that our assets are documented. Hope everything works out and we're all happy and live happily ever after as much as that's possible.
I will mention that she very directly says that we will all live happily ever after as much as that's possible. Susan infers something a lot deeper than just documentation, or rather she knows something a lot more sinister that we yet don't.
And I had necklaces too. I don't know where those are. I just got in a rage, as you can see, and broke this. There's duds and pearls and opals in there. Broke this and threw all my DVDs and made a mess because he was angry at me. This was about a year or two back.
On the advice of an attorney, Susan Powell documented the possessions in her home, fearing her husband, Josh, might sell off expensive items he'd purchased, including tools and electronics. The video was among items police seized from her office after she disappeared in December 2009. On a cold December night, Josh suddenly took the boys out on a camping trip. He left just after midnight, in the middle of a snowstorm. He said it was because the boys wanted s'mores, but the timing made no sense. He brought the kids, some supplies, and though he denied it, Susan. He claimed she stayed at home, but later, the boys said their mother had come with them, not in the car seats, but in the trunk, and she never came back. The story goes that Susan's family reported her missing when her 2 kids weren't dropped off at daycare. When Josh returned from the so-called camping trip, he said that his wife was sleeping peacefully at home when he left, and that he has no idea what could have happened to her. After police searched the home in Utah, there were no signs of foul play. However, things began to get weirder as the investigation continued. Inside Susan's deposit box at where she worked, police found a handwritten will and testament. Inside of it, she said Josh had taken out a $1 million life insurance policy on her name. Just weeks earlier, she also wrote something haunting. "If I die, it may not be an accident." About 10 days after she vanished, police discovered Josh had been withdrawing money from their retirement accounts. That's when he was officially declared a person of interest in her case. Suspiciously, Susan's family reported that during the search efforts, Josh never seemed genuinely interested in finding his wife. When Josh was interviewed by ABC News, he appeared to be adamant on his stance that he was innocent, and also going as far as to fake cry in the interview. As far as this almost looked convincing, later events simply admitted his guilt completely. The interview was uploaded on the 25th of August 2011. Without further ado, I will now play the clip.
What is the truth?
People who know me know that I'm a good dad. I work hard. I put my sons first. I was a good husband.
I want you to pay good attention to "I was a good husband." The "was" passively referring to the fact that she's dead. He knows she's dead.
I took care of my family.
And I see you're still wearing your wedding band.
Yeah,
You still love her?
In this part of the clip, he can be seen blatantly fake crying and even as far as leaving the room, which he did several times in the unedited interview.
yeah. I guess you could say that I still love her.
Despite the mountain of evidence against Josh, he was still taken for questioning, along with his children. Although some of what the children said could be used as decent information, a lot of what they said was skeptical providing their age, and authorities could only make use of what made sense. However, they made ludicrous claims, such as arriving to the campsite by airplane, so not much could be done with what they said. Now, if you remember when I said that he would pull off a stunt that would undoubtedly confess his guilt, this will be now. On the day of the 5th of February 2012, Josh was given permission to have a supervised visit by the state with a social worker. However, when the children arrived, Joshua frantically got the children inside, saying he had a gift for them. Now, this is where it would all go wrong, as before the social worker could come inside, Joshua slammed the door and locked it. He then proceeded to completely cover his house in some sort of flammable or explosive substance, presumably gasoline, then set his house on fire with himself and his 2 boys in it. Now, this case would hit a dead end when Joshua's brother, Michael Powell, would take his own life. This made the case turn cold, because he was already suspected of helping to dispose of Susan's body. However, now, with no more peoples of interest, there was nothing more that could be done. Susan's father would go on to sue Washington State nearly a decade later on grounds of negligence on behalf of the 2 boys for north to $100 million. For Susan, she's a mystery, and we'll likely never know what her remains are, or what happened to her. But one thing's for sure, she fell into the antics of a mental family and was a victim. Her case is truly shaking, and still leaves investigators scratching their heads. What do you think happened to Susan? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, the best way you can support me is by subscribing.